So I just finished recording that video, and then I looked over to my left and I saw Coco looking at me like a little furry creep. So here is the forgotten plant shelf. I posted a video about this plant shelf a few months ago. I really need to move these plants off of here because I forget about them. I don't forget about them, I don't think about them. I guess that's me forgetting about them. Not in the same way that I do, I don't think about these plants the same way that I think about the other plants that I show most of the time. So yeah, I want to move these to be near those other plants and just get them out of this room. Here's the monstera I was talking about in the last video. I also have a video about this monstera. She's looking very, very sad. And y'all, I have not watered this plant in like 2 months. Maybe a month. Maybe 2 months. And it shows. Look at these leaves. Why haven't I watered it? I don't know. Over here on this little table, I've got some dead plants. So this in the white container was a Monstera andersonii. And then I want to call that a rickrack cactus. I don't think that's what it's called though. I can't think of the name, but I'm going to water these plants. There's one in the back too. You could probably see it. Or maybe you can't, but looks like she might have passed away, so rest in peace to that girl. But yeah, I have not touched this plant shelf in several weeks, probably a month, honestly. Again, I don't know why I haven't. I walk past this shelf and I'm like, oh, I need to water these plants. And I say that every time I walk past this shelf. Like, look at this. Poor little philodendron Brazil over here struggling. This is a shoot off, like a baby plant of another plant. Actually, the mother plant is the one that I just said sorry to her. This is what she looked like. And a little while ago, she did have some green on the bottom of the stem, so I thought I could revive her, but right now she looks like she's ready for the trash can. So that's my bad. You win some, you lose some. But the monstera still looks fine. It's just thirsty, so I need to actually water it for real. Then I got a Hoya over here that's looking a little... The light is washing it out. It's not like lime green, but it does need to be watered. What is this plant called? Can one of my plant friends tell me? Is this I think I've been calling it a Pilea. Is it Pilea? Is it Pilea? I have two of them here, and she has had some children. Like, look at these babies down here. They're like toddlers now, and these ones are, I don't know, infants maybe. But there are a lot of children in there, and I don't want this plant to die. It's still kicking. The babies are still alive. So I'm gonna water all these plants. This mican down here, I just did her so wrong. Look at her. I love it. I love this plant. Why did I let it look like this? Why did I allow this to happen? All those beautiful red leaves are that's what the mican leaves look like when they dry out and die. So I'm gonna go through and pick those off. This one, I don't know what this is. I got a clipping of this from a coworker years ago, and it's just been hanging on by a thread. So I might be able to salvage some of it. Pothos back there looking real sad. Philodendron Brazil is looking sad. This aloe, what did I do to the aloe? Look at the aloe, and you see the aloe leaf down here on the ground. Like, what is going on? So I need to get my life together. The Birkin back there is still looking fine. Snake plant. I have two snake plants down there. The mican is kind of blocking it, and the monstera leaf is kind of blocking it, but there are two snake plants and one raven ZZ in the back. And then the Birkin is right there. And that one is looking okay. But aloe girl down here is not happy at all. So I'm going to water these plants. I'm going to fertilize them. And yeah, we're gonna get them together as best we can. And I want to move this shelf. This one, I don't know I ought to be ashamed of myself because this is one of my favorite and was one of my most coveted plants. And look at how these leaves are curled. If you didn't know what a pothos or I know somebody's going to correct me in the comments if this is wrong, but I think this is like a silver, what do you call it? Satin pothos, scandapsis. Are those both the same thing? Somebody tell me if scandapsis and satin pothos is the same thing, please, in the comments. Appreciate it. But look at how the leaves curl. If you see them curl like that, that means she's real thirsty. Give her some water quick, fast, and in a hurry. This one over here, like why did I do this? You know? I don't know, y'all. I'm trying to get it together. I tell y'all, the plants are a reflection of your mental health. What's been going on with me lately? Who knows? Looking at these plants. I promise I'm okay. The plants downstairs are looking good. It's just these plants in this corner, which is why I had that video that was titled The Forgotten Plant Shelf. And we're going to give the Forgotten Plant Shelf some love today. All right, so the Forgotten Plant Shelf plants are all watered. I watered them last night, or yesterday, actually. So all of these have perked up. They're looking much better. This is looking super scraggly, this philodendron micin, but that's okay. It'll bounce back. Philodendron Brazil back there. Wow, look at the difference in these two. These are the same plant. And one of them, this one just looks really sad. This was really dried out. It's a smaller planter, obviously, so drying it out, or so it being dried out, was like a lot more significant for this one. Plus, it's in a terracotta pot compared to this one, which I guess this is ceramic, I think. And I find that ceramic pots, because they're glazed on the inside, hold a little bit more water. And the terracotta just absorbs the water, so yeah. Anyway, this one looks really nice. This one will bounce back at some point, and the pot looks gross too, but that's fine. And I got this Hoya down here, and the leaves are not supposed to be this like yellow green, but those are the ones that are probably going to fall off soon. And I don't know what kind of Hoya this is off the top of my head. If someone knows, feel free to leave a comment and let me know. And then I always want to call this a rickrack. I know that's not what it is. I'll have to look it up. I used to have it written on the pot, and I think the sticker fell off. But I mean, for this to be a cactus, it looks really bad, honestly, compared to what it used to look like. So that's not great. These little babies are doing much better. They're looking a lot better. And hopefully the color will come back on the big leaves, because they're looking pretty bad right now. And then I cut these two down. I had a Monstera Andersonii in this one, and there's a little bit of green in there. There are a couple of stems, so I cut everything back. I'm going to leave that in there. If it dries out and dies, then that's fine. And if something grows, then something grows. That'll be nice. But I just kind of wanted to see if it'll, start to do something now that I've cut it all back. And then this one I'm pretty sure is not coming back, but there is a little bit of a stem in there. I don't even remember what kind of plant was in there, honestly. And then there's this one. I don't know the name of this. Does anyone know what this is? If you do, please leave me a comment, because I have no clue what this is. But this plant is cool because if you do not water it, the leaves will it's very similar to the prayer plants. They'll roll up and it looks super thirsty. So I'm glad to see them pop back out. But this is one that I have to be careful with because it dries out really quickly. It's also in the terracotta pot, so something to keep in mind if you're not going to be watering your plants on a regular basis. Maybe don't keep them in terracotta. And then here's one of my snake plants. Here's the other one. This snake plant, the pot that it's in does not have drainage holes, so I always water it pretty gingerly, but I think it looks okay. It does have a pretty interesting gangstaline situation happening here, so I don't know what's going on with that, but it's there. And then there's the Raven ZZ back there that still looks really good. The Birkin was looking good yesterday, and it's still looking good, just hydrated and shiny because I sprayed all of these with neem oil. And then the aloe plant, I'm sorry, aloe plant. I don't know what I was doing. I've never seen an aloe plant look like this. His knees are all bent. Look at that. Just looking sad. So maybe I'll cut these little scary ones off and scoop the aloe out and do something with that. And then just hope that it regenerates and, starts to look like a regular healthy aloe plant again. But yeah, the plants are watered. Okay, so here is the Monstera. She is looking super droopy and thirsty right now. The moss poles are still in there. I am going to just water her right now. Actually fertilize it with some Miracle-Gro plant food. And then wash the leaves off, spray them down with neem oil. And then I think tomorrow I will actually tackle removing the moss poles and adding the, what did I say I got for it? The metal trellis, or the iron trellis, because I don't want to do that when it's all wet, and it'll just be too much for me to try to lift, because this plant gets really heavy when it's wet. So I'm just gonna, it's pretty early right now in the day, so I'm gonna water it now so that by the time I go to bed, it is completely drained, and then I can put it back in its living quarters, and then just trellis it tomorrow. So, but this is what it's looking like. Really sad, really floppy. I was looking up close at some of the leaves, just check for pests and stuff. I didn't see anything, so that's good considering how long ago I watered it. It's probably been a month and a half or 2 months, honestly. So kudos to this plant for not, succumbing to the conditions that I put it under. Yeah, I'm gonna wash the leaves off and spray them all down with neem oil. Okay, so I'm about to put together this plant stand. This is the stand I was talking about in the last video I uploaded. And I got this from Amazon. I don't even remember what it looked like. I think it's a 3 or 4 tier plant stand. Okay, so I put together the plant stand. And it's nice, it's fine. It is going to serve its purpose. I'm gonna put this outside tomorrow, and I already started putting some seeds in here. What do I have here? I have some fennel. You can't see that. Fennel, basil. No, that's a lie. Fennel, beets, and spinach in this one right here. And then I think more spinach over here, and some kale and some chives and stuff, some dill, and more spinach down there. So I'm gonna put this outside tomorrow.